Hello guys, and welcome back to my video. So I just had surgery a few days ago. So let's just start that off right there. It's probably gonna be just a long talking video and probably not a whole lot of energy. Obviously I just had surgery. So it's been about 5 days I think now that I had surgery. I had to get a hysterectomy, and I'll go over all of that stuff, why and all that good stuff. But I had to get a hysterectomy. Yeah, so let's start from the beginning. You guys know, first off, normally I like to do positive videos, and usually my videos are always positive and upbeat, and let's talk about gratitude, and let's talk about speaking things into existence, and let's talk about designing our vision boards and all that stuff. That's normally what I like to talk about and what I like to bring to the channel. So this all has been new to me. Like the last few videos have been way different, very, very different, because I don't normally talk, like I said, about stuff like this. So I'm just gonna jump right in from the last couple videos. Remember I said I had the worst year of my life and things kept happening, and so after I did that video, because remember, one of the things I said was I was having problems physically with myself, and that was one of the problems that I was having. I started having problems with my period and being very heavy, but I knew I had fibroids. And if you've been following me a long time, like years and years ago, I talked about how I shrunk the fibroids. I work with a holistic doctor, and so she gave me a bunch of meds to shrink them, and they did shrink, and we were good. But fibroids is something that you have to stay on top of. So if you have fibroids, then you got to be very careful, because if you go back to eating that certain way, you gain weight back. You start eating regular food, because right now I used to do grass-fed beef. If you eat the regular stuff, then the fibroids grow back. And once we went through, it was really hard once Corona hit, because you couldn't find, where I lived, you couldn't find grass-fed, you were lucky to get anything. Our stores was just completely kind of sold out. Not to mention, I didn't really have energy. The whole family wound up getting Corona, and so we were sick from that. I feel like Corona kind of escalated my fibroids. I don't know. It makes no sense. I know there's not any evidence. I'm just saying this, or kind of elevated whatever I had that was going on. I feel like it kind of elevates whatever's in your body. It kind of just pushes it out. Because you got to understand, for years, I've had fibroids for maybe 5 or 6 years. I've always dealt with it. I've always used tinctures and stuff like that, herbs and, stuff that helped me. And then for nothing to have helped me was just really, really crazy. And I'll tell you, I'll let my mom tell her own story, but this is very, very weird to me. So my mom had Corona too, back, and I told in the last video where she was hospitalized and stuff. Because my mom had to get the same surgery that I did. She just got her surgery, a hysterectomy, 3-4 weeks ago. How odd is that? My mother has already went through menopause. She's already went through all sorts of stuff, but she had to get the same thing. I'm like, this is very odd. So she started having problems after this whole Corona. I started having problems. It's just very, very weird. So I was like, okay. But anyways, yeah. So I was still seeing my holistic doctor, and she kept saying, you can fight this, you can beat this, Regina, you can do this, you can do this, Regina. She kept saying that, but it started being to the point where I started getting really, really anemic, and my period never went off. It would stay on 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I'd have a week off, and I mean heavy, heavy bleeding. It was a nightmare. I stopped going places, because obviously you never know when you gotta run to the bathroom. I stopped being able to do stuff, stopped being able to pretty much go anywhere. The last couple months have been so ridiculous that I had no energy. I remember when they took my blood, was a couple months ago, or a month ago, was like a 10 point something. It already was low. It should be 12. And when I got in the hospital last week, they said it was an 8 point something. And yeah, they don't like to do surgeries when it's under 10. And so that was very, very scary, because I thought I'm not going to be able to get the surgery. So let's back again. So yeah, so that's when I was just like, okay, so I wasn't able to do like just my normal activities that I normally do. I would get kind of dizzy and just I didn't have a lot of energy at all, because my blood was so low and I was continuing to bleed. I was on so many pills. I went to like so many different doctors, because I kept saying, I need the surgery. And they knew, but they didn't have any openings until January or February or March. And then with the corona, they said they might stop doing surgeries unless it is considered, I don't know. But I'm thinking, yeah, if I keep bleeding like this, I'm probably gonna, who knows where I'm going to end up, in the hospital anyway. And so I just kept saying, okay, somebody needs to do this. So I private pay for a doctor. She's just really, really good doctor. And so I joined this club doctor thing where you pay out of pocket. It's very expensive, but I was so desperate, and I'm so happy that I did. And this lady have worked with me. She helped me too. She gave me hormone pills. She gave me stuff to try to slow it down, but it still wouldn't work. She was just trying to slow it down enough to I can have the surgery in January. So I was like, it's not working. Well, in this thing, you can contact the doctor day or night. They help you, and her main goal was to keep me out of the hospital, not going into the emergency room, because if I went to the emergency room, chance of corona, all sorts of stuff. So she kept saying, I want to keep you out of the hospital. So she would have me to take maybe more hormones or to take something different. She tried so many different medications with me. And then, but she didn't perform the surgery. She was a gynecologist, but she stopped doing surgeries a while ago. But she knew all of this because she did so many of these surgeries. So I just was like, okay, we got to do something. So she hooked me up with a doctor. She's like, man, nobody have any openings, because it's just, I guess it's a busy time of the year. I remember I was just like, God, because I had to talk to myself a lot, and I had to keep saying, well, thank God it's not this, or thank God it's not that. Because I had to do a biopsy. They had to make sure that it wasn't cancer, and that came back really good. There was no cancer there. And I started saying, well, thank God it's not cancer. And I just said, but God, you have to do something. You have to do something. I was praying. I was crying out. I said, I need someone to do this surgery. And oh yeah, I had also was doing the Daniel fast with you guys. And when I got my blood work back, I found out that I was deficient in vitamin B as well, because I was anemic. So my vitamin Bs were way low. I had to start eating meat like crazy, like just red meat. So I couldn't do the Daniel's fast anymore, neither. Yeah, all that was just all bad. All bad. So I just was like, God, I need you to do. I'm literally trying to do the Daniel fast. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. And I remember I got a call that day, because I remember I just cried. I was like, God, you got to do something, because I was not living. I had no quality of life. My life was confined to my bedroom, and running back and forth to the bathroom, just waiting on the surgery. And I thought, God, I don't know that I can wait months and months, because the way my iron was dropping, man, I would have needed a blood transfusion real quickly. I mean, real quickly. So I remember that day, a doctor called me out the blue, and she goes, hey, she's like, Dr. So-and-so, which is the doctor that I, privately pay. She's like, listen, she told me that you need a surgery right away. And she goes, hey, she's like, I'm going to put you on the books. And I told her, because here was the thing. I had seen other doctors, and like another doctor, she said my uterus was so big. It was like 4 months pregnant, and the fibroids were so large that she's like, it was beyond her skill level. And sorry about that. My phone had cut off. But she had said that it was beyond her skill level, the other doctor, and that she couldn't do it. So when I went back to my private pay doctor, she's like, I don't agree with that. She's like, it's just that she don't have enough skills in the area, because what they do now, a lot of what they do is called laparoscopic surgery, and they do that, and that way you can, I went home the same day. You can go home the same day. So it's not like the old-fashioned hysterectomies where they cut you up like a C-section. And when they do that, even when they do it today, you're in the hospital for a few days. You're in so much pain. I would have needed like somebody to help or stay with me for like a week or something. And, you know, so, and it also increased my risk for bleeding. I could have bled like crazy. So anyway, she said, I can do your surgery in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes, I'll take it. So after that, we got a post position or post thing or whatever, post appointment. And then when I met her, and because I remember I got off the phone and I just cried. I was like, honey, she could do the surgery. So we all was so happy. I was so excited about this surgery. Because like I said, I would try to do my vitamins. I would try to eat healthy. Nothing was working. It was just my fibroids had just gotten out of hand, and my uterus had just gotten too thick, too big. It just nothing was helping. So like I had no other choice but to do the surgery. So anyways, fast forward to the day of the surgery. I never got nervous. I kept waiting on it to come. But I had so much peace because I had kept just praying. Every tear that fell was just a tear of joy because I had been on so much of those hormones. Those hormones messed with my heart. I was having heart palpitations. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital from that. I was having the hardest time, you guys. This was horrible. So just pumping all this stuff into my body and nothing working. So the day of the surgery, my husband kept saying, are you nervous? I was like, no, I'm not nervous. Not yet. Maybe when I get there. I was fine all the way up until they drew my blood. And when she said that my blood was 8 point something. And she's like, man, they don't like to do surgeries this low, but we'll see what the doctors say. So that's when I got nervous because I thought, God, if I leave this hospital, there's no way they can get my blood to go up because they can't stop my period. My period had been on for months at this point. And not just a regular period, a heavy period. We're running back and forth to the bathroom. I'm sorry for being so graphic, but that's just how it was. So I was like, there's no way I can leave this hospital. That's just what I was thinking to myself. And man, so the doctor came in and the anesthesiologist came. They came in at the same time, and she would talk to him, and she was like, her blood is so low, he was like, ugh. They really did not want to do the surgery. And so the doctor who was performing the surgery, she said, listen, she said, this is dangerous because we normally don't like to do it that low. And if something happened and you bleed more, it could just be very, very dangerous. And so they actually had a robot. Somehow, by the grace of God, this robot came available, and this lady is skilled in the robot area. So the robot was able to perform my surgery, of course, with her assistant. And when a robot performs your surgery, it's more specific. It's less blood, so they don't have to work because what is it called? I forgot, but it cauterizes or something like that as they go along, so you're not bleeding. It's not like you're cutting it. So it was so neat. She's like, well, let's do this. And she's like, and if you agree, because they even thought about they wanted to give me blood before the surgery. And then the anesthesiologist, hopefully I'm saying that right, he was like, he's like, yeah, let's just see. So they wanted to see right off the back, was I going to need it or not? And praise the Lord, y'all, I did not need a blood transfusion. They had 2 bags on standby. She's like, we're going to go. So somebody came and said, we have 2 bags for her. She's ready. We can do it. and I was so happy, but they did not need any type of blood transfusion. The surgery went very, very well. I did get a phone call. Actually today, they said they tested everything else, the fibroids, everything. Nothing had cancer in it. Everything was really, really good. So I was so happy to hear that. And I'm healing very well, you guys. That first day, I felt so much better because, oh, that's another thing I didn't talk about. And this is weird because if it's just the fibroids that was bothering me, and me and my mom had two different things, we both felt like it was just like cramping nonstop. Both of us had the same type of cramps where it felt like she said, it felt like you're in labor, like just cramps. And then you'll have a minute where you could breathe and then it'll just cramp again, cramp, like days and days of cramping, especially at night. It was just, man. And my mom had the same thing. Like, this is just so odd, like, y'all, for real. And my mother didn't have fibroids. Let's keep that in mind. Yeah, so that was the weird part about it. But so anyways, the first day I went home, I felt amazing. And of course, you know, if y'all want to know more about the surgery, if you guys like have to get the surgery, I'll tell more about it. But I woke up, it was the most comfortable experience ever. When I asked them, could they give me something to relax me, going down the hall to go to the other room, and I just remember being very relaxed. I don't even remember going to sleep. I remember waking up, and I remember just saying, where's my husband? Because I wanted my husband, because I know he was very worried before, and so I just kept saying, can you get my husband? I just remember that. And so they finally wheeled me to the other room, got my husband, and no problems. Very, very good surgery. Minimal pain. I haven't had to take really pain meds that much. Well, since the second day, I haven't had to take pain meds. It was a very simple, easy surgery. They say they perform it all the time. It's one of those things where you have to tell yourself you just had surgery, so you can't do too much. Because, you know, you really feel like I'm just laying around here, just doing nothing. That's how you feel. But if you move a certain way, you will feel a pain or you will feel something. So you do have to be very careful. From my understanding, my stomach is going to go down a lot once the swelling goes down, because the fibroids were pretty large in my stomach. Like I said, it was almost like I was a four month pregnant. So yeah. So hey, y'all, I'm excited about that. But I did want to come and just tell about my experience with that. I'm so happy, y'all, that I got that out. So happy. Like, now I can focus on other stuff. Just focus on getting my life back together, picking up the pieces. And I'm looking forward to 2021, you guys. I know it's going to be much better than this year. But I'm look for some great videos, because I'm about to start putting out these videos more positive, of course. We're going to do our new vision boards and vision books. They will go back on sale again. I do sell vision books and stuff because it's me the first of the year. So those will go back on sale really, really soon, so we can start getting prepared and start focusing. I feel like because of this corona, we all kind of just lost our dreams, lost our hopes, lost a lot of stuff. And so I'm excited to get back, get it together. And I'm so thankful to God, y'all. Y'all have no idea. So thankful to God for just everything that he's done. The whole time I just kept having to talk to myself. All right, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to talk to y'all later and see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.